5 वर्ष जिस तरीके से दलितों पिछड़ों का शोषण होता रहा है और उनकी आवाज को दबाया जाता रहा है, बेरोजगार लाठी खाते रहे, जो सरकार चला रहे थे उनसे नाराजगी थी।
करारा जवाब दूंगा, ऐसा करारा जवाब दूंगा कि इनको छठी का दूध यादेगा। मंत्रिमंडल पर से इस्तीफा देते ही दूसरे दिन अगर नॉन अवेलेबल वारंट जारी हुआ है तो मकसद क्या है?
न पिछड़ों का भला हुआ, न दलितों का भला हुआ, न शोषितों का भला हुआ, न अल्पसंख्यकों का भला हुआ। और ये बाबा नहीं बवाल है, ये भाजपा के काल हैं।
Hello everyone, good evening. You're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. It was another day of resignations from Yogi Adityanath, Council of Ministers. The twists and turns in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh is continuing. Another minister who has leveled the same charge as those who have exited in the last 48 hours, which includes Swami Prasad Maurya and also Dara Singh Chauhan. Today it was Dharam Singh Saini who said that the current government is anti-Dalit, anti-farmers, and then the BJP tried to build a narrative to counter that charge. 7 MLAs and cabinet ministers, including prominent faces of the OBC community, have stepped down in a span of just 2 days. The rebel group is being led by former minister Swami Prasad Maurya, who has accused the BJP of doing nothing to empower the OBCs of the state, adding that more defections and resignations are set to follow. Countering the defections, the BJP came out with a report on the work done for the OBC community and is reaching out to the allies, the Apna Dal and Nishad party, likely to join hands. They have already joined hands with the Saffron party. The seat sharing formula has been sealed with them. The recent developments have put a twist in the Mandal versus Kamandal dynamics of the poll-bound state. The BJP's Kamandal model has been successful in creating a pan-Hindu approach that has been able to override the caste cleavages and divisions and draw out voters from the Samajwadi Party and the BSP camps. It has partly delivered the stellar victories of the 2017 state election and 2019 general elections, but they have also been engineered by the BJP's invocation of the Mandal card, creating a social coalition of various castes under the brand Narendra Modi and also the Vikas agenda of the BJP. There are 40 to 45% of OBC voters in the state of UP, of which 32 to 35% are non-Yadav OBCs, making them a crucial vote bank for any party. Their consolidation has been critical to the saffron sweep in the state. Now, ahead of the polls, the Samajwadi Party has been working on building an alliance of smaller OBC outfits to undo this social engineering of the BJP, with the new rebels now eyeing greener pastures under Akhilesh Yadav. How do these defections in the name of social justice for the OBC community shift the political dynamics of the state? To get a sense of what they are aiming to achieve, I am being joined by one of the former UP ministers, Dara Singh Chauhan. Dara Singh Chauhan, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. पहला सवाल आपसे, पहले स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य गए, उसके बाद हम लोगों ने दारा सिंह चौहान आपका रेजिग्नेशन देखा और आज था धर्म सिंह सैनी का रेजिग्नेशन. सारे रेजिग्नेशन के जो वर्ड्स थे, जो अल्फाज थे, वो बिल्कुल सिमिलर हैं. तो क्या ये रेजिग्नेशंस कोऑर्डिनेटेड हैं?
आप मैडम सोच सकते हैं, समझ सकते हैं कि कितना पीड़ा रही होगी इन लोगों के पास कि जो लोग 2017 में शामिल होकर के पूरे मनोयोग, ईमानदारी और जिम्मेदारी से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनाने का काम किया है, क्योंकि जिनका आपने नाम लिया सारे पिछड़े समाज के लोग हैं ये लोग. और उत्तर प्रदेश में आधी से ज़्यादा आबादी पिछड़े समाज की है, जो 5 साल तक डोली के पिछले कहार बन करके पीछे पीछे चलते रहे, लेकिन मुझे न्याय और इंसाफ नहीं मिल पाया. और जिस तरीके से उत्तर प्रदेश के आधी से ज़्यादा आबादी जो पिछड़ा समाज है, चूँकि हम भी पिछड़े हैं, उस पिछड़े समाज के लोग, दलित समाज के लोग, इस प्रदेश का पूरा नौजवान जो रोजगार के लिए सड़कों पे भटक रहा है। आज प्रदेश का जो किसान है, जो अपने खेत की रखवाली और खुशहाली के लिए जाड़े की रात में भी चारपाई लेके खेत में पड़ा रहता है, जानवरों से रखवाली के लिए कितनी पीड़ा होती होगी, इस पीड़ा से परिचित है।
सवाल ये है कि 5 साल आप मंत्री रहे, क्या इस 5 साल में जब आप कैबिनेट मीटिंग्स में बैठते थे मुख्यमंत्री के साथ, तो क्या आपने ये बताया उनको कि दलित समाज या पिछड़ा वर्ग या युवा अपने आप को ये इस बात का उन लोगों को एहसास हो रहा है कि जो सरकार है, जो राज्य सरकार है, वो उनके लिए काम नहीं कर रही? क्या आपने कोई मंच पे ये रेस किया था अपना कंसर्न?
कई बार कैबिनेट के फोरम में भी, जैसे उत्तर प्रदेश के जो पिछड़े समाज के पढ़ने वाले जो बच्चे हैं, चाहे ITI हो, पॉलिटेक्निक हो, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, मेडिकल कॉलेज, BEd या BTC में हो, ये तमाम जो बच्चे हैं जिनको स्कॉलरशिप मिलती है, पता कर सकती है आज पिछड़े समाज के लोग जो पूरी तरीके से स्कॉलरशिप से जो सोची समझी साजिश के नाते जिनको वंचित किया गया, इसको भी कैबिनेट में लोगों ने रखा और उचित मंच पे और सारे समाज के बेहतरी और विकास के लिए, उनके सम्मान पहचान के लिए जिस तरीके से पिछड़े बच्चे जो आरक्षण को लेकर के सड़क पर धरना प्रदर्शन करके लाठी खा रहे हैं, आज कई महीनों से टीचर की भर्ती में जिस आरक्षण के साथ, जिस संविधान के साथ खिलवाड़ किया गया है, ये सबको पता है। तो आपको पता है कि सरकार एक दिन में 5 साल का पूरा निर्णय नहीं ले लेती है, हर रोज़ कोई न कोई निर्णय लेती है। तो पिछड़े समाज के लोग चूँकि ईमानदारी जिम्मेदारी के साथ इंतज़ार करता रहा 5 साल तक कि शायद आज मेरे हित में कोई निर्णय होगा, अब मेरे अधिकार की कोई रक्षा होगी, अब शायद संविधान में जो प्रदत्त जो अधिकार दिए गए हैं उसकी सुरक्षा होगी। लेकिन करते करते 5 साल का इंतज़ार बहुत होता है और तब जा कर के सभी लोगों ने, और मैं भी हूँ, कि आहत होकर के भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार से मैंने त्यागपत्र दिया। ये एक दिन का काम नहीं है।
भाजपा ने, योगी आदित्यनाथ ने जो जो काम किया है पिछड़ों के लिए, पूरा लिस्ट निकाला है और उनका ये भी कहना है कि ये जो पूरे इस्तीफे हो रहे हैं, रेजिग्नेशंस हो रहे हैं आपके और बहुत सारे हुए हैं अभी MLAs के, ये वो लोग हैं जिनको शायद टिकट नहीं मिलता और इसीलिए वो अपना एक नया रास्ता ढूंढ लिए हैं और आप लोग सारे टर्न कोट्स हैं क्योंकि आप लोगों की कोई आइडियोलॉजी नहीं है। आप लोगों ने उसी वक्त ज्वाइन किया 2017 चुनाव से पहले और उस वक्त आपने भाजपा का राइज देखा था क्योंकि उनकी सत्ता आने वाली थी।
मैं व्यक्तिगत मैं कह सकता हूं, जिस विधानसभा से मैं विधायक हूं, पहली बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी उस मधुबन विधानसभा से जीतने का काम किया है और सारे जो गरीब हैं, वंचित हैं, नौजवान, किसान और बड़े पैमाने पर जो पिछड़े दलित समाज के लोगों ने दे करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कैंडिडेट के रूप में जिताने का काम किया था।
आपसे आखिरी सवाल ये होगा कि ये क्लियरली अब दिख रहा है कि ये पूरे रेजिग्नेशंस कोऑर्डिनेटेड हैं क्योंकि लफ्ज़ जो हैं, जो सेंटेंसेस हैं, जो वर्ड्स हैं, वो सब सारे रेजिग्नेशंस के बिल्कुल मिलते जुलते हैं। क्या और रेजिग्नेशंस होंगे कि क्या आपके संपर्क में और MLAs हैं?
अब देखिए आगे क्या आपको पता चला, आप नहीं बताए क्या धर्म सिंह सैनी जी भी इस्तीफा दे दिए, भी आज इस्तीफा दे दिए, कुछ विधायकों ने इस्तीफा दिया है और आगे आपको, मुझे लगता है हमसे ज़्यादा आपको जानकारी आगे क्या होने वाला है। लेकिन इतना मैं ज़रूर कहना चाहता हूँ कि पिछड़े समाज के लोगों ने जिस शिद्दत और भरोसे के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार दे करके बड़े बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाने का काम किया है, अब लोगों के अंदर सोच जो पैदा हुई है, अब हुजूर का बेटा हुजूर बनेगा और मजदूर का बेटा मजदूर बनेगा, यह बर्दाश्त करने वाला नहीं है। ये पिछड़े समाज के लोग जो डोली के पिछले कहार बन के ढोने का काम करेंगे, ऐसा नहीं, अब डोली के अगले कहार बनेंगे, ये मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूँ।
All right, Dara Singh Chauhan, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me bring in my guests now. Prajita Sarangi, Member of Parliament of the BJP. Chandrachud Singh is a political analyst. Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Sanjay Kumar, Professor CSDS and a political analyst. I'm going to begin with you, Prajita Sarangi. The BJP may be dismissing them as turncoats, but the fact is that you fielded them just before 2017. They may have seen the party, the BJP growing or on the party on the horizon that could form the government. Now that they have left, is the BJP worried that this entire narrative that they are trying to set, that the Yogi government is anti-Dalit, anti-backwards, is something that could trouble you in the next few weeks?
A very good evening. There is absolutely no cause for worry. There is no trouble at all for BJP. We are aware of the fact that the people of Uttar Pradesh believe in the public welfare measures of the Honorable Prime Minister and the works of CM Yogi. We have been doing our best in the last 5 years, and we have full faith in the judgment of the people of Uttar Pradesh. Having said this, let me ask you a few things. All these people, the 3 cabinet ministers and a couple of MLAs who have gone to a sinking ship would definitely be regretting sooner or
7
later.
MLAs.
We have to
7 MLAs in the last few days only. Yes.
As you mentioned while you were discussing with Mr. Dara Singh Chauhanji, just before 2017 elections, most of these people had joined the BJP. So number one, they do not feel one with the ideology of the party. Now, our party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, focuses on performance. It is the party of the Prime Minister Modi who day in and day out talks of performance and performance. We have zero tolerance to corruption, and we cannot accept a terror-ridden rule. So I think these people must have felt suffocated. This is one point. Number two, now whatever Mr. Swami Maurya or Dara Singh, these people are saying after 5 years, why didn't they say a couple of years back? Why didn't they sit with CM Yogi or other senior leaders?
And they waited for the model code of conduct to come into force, and then only these switchovers or exits are happening. Ghanshyam Tiwari, a number of these MLAs have left, ministers have also quit. The question is that the BJP continues to maintain that as far as the larger messaging is concerned, they would have an advantage over the Samajwadi Party, because Yogi Adityanath is the biggest Hindutva mascot, and that cannot be, and let's be clear, there is no match to that narrative. And also, all the castes that we have seen and the narrative or the assertion that we are seeing right now, all those caste equations came under the larger Hindutva umbrella election after election from 2014, 2017 and also 2019.
Maria, good evening to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. Let me start by expressing my deep concern and anguish about the train accident in Bengal, and I hope and pray for everyone who's injured to recover. As far as what is happening in Uttar Pradesh, let me start with some basic statistics. There is no match to the power of Bharatiya Janata Party in orchestrating defections in political parties. An ADR report speaks about 182 MLAs in 5 years, 2016 to 2020, who joined BJP from other parties. There were tape recordings of 5 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore ministerial berths being given to fracture elected governments. In contrast, only 18 MLAs left BJP in these 5 years to join other parties. When you look at what has happened in Uttar Pradesh in the last 1 month alone, nearly 18 leaders left Bharatiya Janata Party on their own to join Samajwadi Party. This includes 3 cabinet ministers. More are joining. This includes 12 MLAs. So there is a clear exodus in Bharatiya Janata Party. How are they responding to this exodus? They are responding to a much harsher, rasher brand of Hindutva by speaking about 80-20, which is clearly a hate speech, by saying that Adityanath will contest from Ayodhya. How does it solve anything in Uttar Pradesh? There is a massive unemployment. Does it get resolved because Adityanath is contesting from Ayodhya? Or there is price rise, people are poor and they face misery. Or there is injustice to the farmer. Tini remains a minister. Communal harmony is an issue in the state, and BJP practices a propaganda which is against it. So BJP is not responding to the issues, the bunyadi issues that people want. As a result, there's a consolidation which is in line with the basic principles of social justice, that everyone who's backward, Dalit, minority, women, youth, they want a government that listens to them rather than terrorizing
Aprajita
them.
Sarangi, respond to this charge that the BJP is not responding to people's issues, and that you are looking at that majority consolidation, and that is the reason why Yogi Adityanath talked about 80 versus 20.
Yes. See, there are two aspects to this question. Number one, I would definitely like to mention here that as far as Mr. Swami Prasad Maurya's family is concerned, the senior leaders of the party have done a lot. I mean, I would like to mention here, this is a good platform for me to actually bring this to the notice of all, that his son was given the ticket last time. He was made the state minister, and thereafter his daughter, Madam Sanghamitra Maurya, sits with me in the Lok Sabha. She was given ticket of BJP to contest the Badayu seat, and with the support and the blessings of Honorable Prime Minister, she won the seat. Now, so much has been done by BJP for Mr. Swami Prasad Maurya's family. Now, there is a pattern to all these defections. You know, I would say all these deserters. So let me call them deserters. All these people have gone under the influence of Mr. Swami Prasad Maurya. And if you actually analyze the political career of these people, please pardon me if I say that, but
you may be calling them thankless. You know, no, but the BJP did not say such a thing when they welcomed and opened their doors, Prajita, when the TMC leaders during election were quitting and joining the BJP. You welcomed them, and now the Samajwadi Party is welcoming your leaders. It's almost like something that is understood in politics, and it's given before elections. Let me bring other two experts, the two experts now as well. Sanjay Kumar, in the last 48 hours, we have seen these exits. One may say that this is a matter of huge concern because all of them are from the crucial OBC constituency. And this is the constituency which in many ways decides the balance of power in several poll-bound states. The BJP has been trying to send that message that they are for the pichdas and the backwards, because in the cabinet reshuffle of Yogi Adityanath, they got a significant representation, and also when Prime Minister Modi expanded his cabinet in the national capital. But the question is that when you look at these exodus of sorts that is happening, what do you think is the messaging that is going?
No, clearly, Maria, the narrative which BJP has been able to build during last couple of years, or maybe more than that, 5 years, 7 years, that BJP is a party which cares for the OBCs, the pichadas, and that is why in the recent cabinet expansion, they announced it so loud and clear that these many OBCs have been adjusted in the cabinet, these many Dalits have been taken into the cabinet. This is the first time that OBC has got such a large representation in the central cabinet. So this narrative is getting punctured by this defection. These defections would not have been so important for Samajwadi Party if, suppose, hypothetically, these defectors were from upper caste, maybe say the Rajputs or some other families, other caste. But since Samajwadi Party is trying to contest this election, trying to build a coalition of Yadavs, lower OBCs and the Muslims, so these defections have become more important in that respect. It is helping the Samajwadi Party in building that narrative that, look, this is the social coalition based on which Samajwadi Party is trying to contest election. And why this social coalition? Because they have the people belonging to these communities have been at a receiving end in the BJP's government. So that is why I think these defections have become more important compared to just counting these numbers or counting that these are the cabinet ministers who have shifted. The more important fact is that these are the cabinet ministers, but look at their caste. And this is where I think the damage to BJP is happening much more than only the numbers.
Yes, so these are ministers from the crucial OBC constituency, the non-Yadav OBCs, and that is the reason why, as Sanjay Kumar is pointing out, the messaging gets far more sharper. Chandrachud Singh, we have seen defections that have happened, but largely defections don't happen from the BJP. This is a party which ensures that its leaders, the cadres, are kept together. When defection of this nature happens, and almost like a coordinated letter that is written by all these, do you think these leaders will be able to ensure that their supporter base also shifts with them, or are you of the opinion that the Prime Minister has created that Labharthi constituency or the beneficiary constituency that will remain loyal to him and the BJP?
Well, thank you, Maria, for having me. Let me start with your last question. That we'll all get to know on the 10th of March as to what would happen, because the voter knows the best. That is what we've been saying. But I think there are two things that I wanted to suggest here. The first is that the BJP is also a party, as there are other parties. But more importantly, if you look to the data that is coming out, and particularly of the CSDS data that we have in the public space, you'll find that there is a certain trend which perhaps might be causing such moves. The first is that normally you see that political party, when there's a clear majority that political parties have been getting in majority of the elections, and in the last 3 elections in UP in particular, you'd see that a particular party got the majority seats. And when a party gets that basically means that there's a vote for a party. But more than that, you'll see that there is a larger number and a rising number of fresh contestants or first timers who've been winning elections after elections. Last time, if you look into the data, you'll see that 78% of the people who contested the first timers who contested won the UP elections. So there is also a compulsion on part of political parties to lose weight, and also to accommodate the fresh demands that might be coming from a number of aspirants who are seeking tickets. So I think you'll have to understand this, keeping that in mind as well. Whereas where political parties do have to take that cautious and to have to do a cautious balance in terms of managing and winning the elections.
Okay, all right. I would like to thank my guests, because there is an update that is coming in now of the train tragedy that has happened of Bengal Guwahati Express that got derailed. The number of casualty now stands at 7. In fact, there is the number update that is also coming in of the total number of those who have been injured, that stands at 60 now. That is from official sources, and the Railways Minister has briefed the Prime Minister about the train derailment, and he has put out a tweet saying that this was certainly an unfortunate accident. 12 coaches of Bikaner Guwahati Express derailed near New Mayanaguri this evening, personally monitoring the situation for swift rescue operations. Shaukat Mukhopadhyay is joining me on the phone line. Shaukat, go ahead, give us the details.
Well, the latest information that we are getting from the spot is that the death toll has indeed gone up. From the last time we reported that there were 3 deaths from the spot, we can now confirm that the district officials have confirmed to us that 5 people have been found dead at the spot where the accident has taken place. What we are also picking up from officials of the district health department in the Jalpaiguri district is that 2 more passengers were brought dead to Jalpaiguri district hospitals. So 5 passengers found dead at the spot. 2 more dead on arrival at the Jalpaiguri district hospital takes the death toll to 7 so far. What we are also getting to understand is that the compartment S6 is the worst affected compartment in this whole tragedy. There are efforts to reach out to the passengers who are believed to be still trapped inside the S6 compartment. And what we are getting to know from from our sources on the ground is that on account of the faded light, it's completely dark now. So there are rescue operations are being carried out under artificial lights, and that has caused additional problems and posed additional hindrances to the rescue operations that are currently going on. But we are told that there are several people still trapped inside the S6 compartment. So that is the latest that we are picking up from the ground.
Okay.
As you rightly pointed out, 60 people have been moved to various neighborhoods.
All right. Shaukato, thank you so much for that update that you have given. We are putting out that story on news18.com. We are flashing the helpline numbers as well. All the details you can get on those helpline numbers. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.